Hello boys, so yeah, let's start. Name this circle. This is an empty attribute, select it down here and then make this bigger. So aspect ratio 1:1. Make the size bigger. That would much bigger. That would offset the screen, and then put border radius for the rounded shape. What's this? Colon. This is colon. And then custom positions. Top, left, right.
Good morning, everyone. Can I get a thumbs up if you can hear me?
And then push this on the center. I mean on the bottom
Okay,
first.
wonderful. Thank you. Again, my apologies. I cannot turn on my camera because I
I
am actually
guess you want to
surrounded by a lot of people. In fact,
push
I went outside the office so that
absolute
we can have our class. But rest assured that our class is not going to take so much
margin
time.
auto.
So, yeah, without further ado, let's start.
Push this more on the bottom.
So let me share my screen and then let me know if
Mm,
you're able to see them.
and then on the left, negative value. I guess we need to increase the size of the
Okay,
circle
I hope that you can see
by 20
the slides
pixels.
now.
Now let's move this 20 pixels on the left.
Can you give me again a thumbs up if you can so that I can start?
40, 500. Let's do that, 500. And then move this 50 pixel on the left. And then on the bottom, move this
Okay,
like
so I would like to
20
start
pixel
with
more.
the reminders. All right. Now I learned from, I'm sorry, I actually
Oh,
learned from
something.
my colleagues here in Yalu that we are to
You.
submit our grades, midterm grades, and the last day for submission is October 18. So I would like to remind everyone who was not able to submit their requirements via Google Classroom. Now, bear in mind that what I did was that I tried to see to it that all of the students are going to have equal participation in coming up with the requirements. And so I randomly pick a group member, and they're supposed to be the one who's going to submit that particular requirement
Then
for
create
a
another
certain,
element.
yeah, in the Google Classroom. So
Road.
there are still a lot of you who are not able to submit your requirements. So may I suggest that those who are assigned or try to check, as mentioned in the Facebook page, you're supposed to check
Road.
each time the Google Classroom
Create
if there
a
are requirements that you're supposed to
triangle
submit. So may I remind everyone
with no,
to check
with
who is
the
assigned and then try to remind that person because obviously there are those na wala gigi submit.
then
Okay? So moving
rectangle
forward,
with
let's start off with
zero.
our topic for this morning. So this is finalizing your capstone project, and this is your chapter 5. Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm sorry I did not change the date
border
again. So these
tab
are the outline
50
of our discussion. So we have um, for chapter 5, if I am not mistaken, I
so
actually included the summary of findings in chapter
50
4.
pixels
So
solid
that is actually a format that I
transparent
followed with LaSalle. But here in
copy.
Bookso, we are supposed to have
This
our
is right,
summary of findings now in
right,
chapter 5. So no
and copy
worries
again. This is
because
for the
you can
bottom.
just actually transfer whatever you have already finished in your
We
chapter
have
4. You just
color
transfer
of
that in your
light
chapter 5.
here
And
at
then
the
after
bottom.
which you will have your conclusions, recommendations, future research directions, and of course the chapter conclusion. So when I say
Position it
chapter
in the
conclusion, that is
center
actually
by
the conclusion that we'll have
having this
for
three
chapter
lines.
5. So first, we will have the summary of findings, but then these were already discussed last time, right? So I'm not going to
Reserve,
delve in further with
reserve,
this one. All you have to do is just transfer this section
put
into. chapter
Increase the
5.
bottom here,
Okay,
bottom border.
so I think these were already
Okay.
discussed last time. So what you're going to do right here are the key findings of your chapter 4. This
And
should
then increase the
restate the
width
main
by
outcomes of the
10
study in
pixels.
a
Yep.
concise manner, focusing on the system's performance in
The
detecting
color of
hazards, for
our
example,
circle
if
is
it's
this
bulk
one.
hazards, real-time monitoring
Lastly
capabilities,
is
and the
the
success of the predictive
background.
model. If
Body
this example is
selector,
actually as of my
background,
license again. So
this color.
you try to focus on the key
Oh,
results. You
more
highlight the trends, the
this.
patterns, or important insights, and make sure that the summary
Yeah.
is concise, but it covers all the significant findings of your
Oh,
capstone project. Now, we have an example here again, but of course, not going to mention more of that. So let's move on to the conclusion. So the conclusions, this is actually right after your
maybe
summary and
let's actually
findings. So what
increase the
are the things that
width
you should do
by
here?
40
So you draw a
and then
conclusion
push
based
this on
on
the
your
bottom.
research findings. The conclusion should answer your research questions, or in your case, your objectives, and indicate whether what
Two,
you claim there were
three,
really
yeah,
supported or
3,
you were really able to
10,
achieve
like that, and
those
3,
objectives that you have for your capstone project, or
306.
if you have research questions, were you able to answer them? Okay, so how are you going to write it? You start again by restating your objectives. I'm not saying that you're going to put their objectives
Then the
one,
width
objective two,
is
of up to how many objectives that you
at
have. You just try to
44.
make sure that it is being stated in a concise manner. So you try to start from there and then clearly connect each conclusion to your
52.
specific
Okay.
findings or data. So
Yeah,
it would be similar to
good.
having your research objectives, and then these
Width.
are the results or these are the findings, and then what is now the conclusion that you will have.
The circle is not
And once
perfect.
again, if there are objective
98.8. Yeah.
trends that emerge from the results, is also important that you are going to highlight them. So again, what you're going to do here is you're going to restate again your objectives, but this is in a summary form.